Hi guys, it's Deanna coming to you from Central Illinois, Zone 6A, and boy do I have a treat for you, as you can probably see in the opening picture. Okay, so I have a new friend, and his name is Dan, and he is going to show us around his tropical garden today. So I am not a big tropical person. I don't really know how to grow tropicals, but Dan worked at a garden center for 43 years. The only person to ever start there and finish there and retire. So anyway, Dan has some super neat plants. He has super neat information. And I think even if tropicals is not your thing, I think you're going to love this garden tour. So I'm going to start out by introducing you to Dan. There's Dan right there. And Dan is thankfully not shy, so he's going to be with us on camera. I personally not looking so hot today, so I will not be. But anyway, Dan's going to help us explain some things like, look at this. This is just to start you off here. All right, Dan, so tell us about this cactus.
Okay, this is a 50-year-old cactus, and I actually just got it 2 months ago.
Okay.
And it was an 82-year-old woman that had it, which kind of makes sense because she's had it most of her life.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where she can't move it anymore.
I bet.
Because she always moved it out every summer. And it's kind of curved now, and so it was leaning against the wall. And for her to get it out, she just couldn't do it. It took 3 of us to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's about 200 to 300 pounds.
Really?
It's filled with water. That's what cactus have in it.
Filled with water. Yeah. That makes sense.
So we wrapped it in a canvas tarp.
Okay.
And then 2 layers of sheet insulation, like the pink insulation, and then strapped it to a dolly.
Oh my gosh.
And then laid it down in a trailer and got it here. And then pretty much we just went up. We put it in a bigger pot.
I'm going to show the tags.
And these tags, the woman... she lived in California in 1974.
Okay.
And she bought a 6-inch square pot of a cute little ball cactus.
Uh-huh.
And that one's faded off.
Oh, okay.
That's 2020.
That's 2020. Yeah. All right.
And she marked the years later on of how tall it was at certain points.
It's kind of like your kid going to kindergarten.
Exactly, like making the things on the wall. So she had it, and then she moved to Tennessee, and then finally in 2013 she moved to Bloomington. Ah! And so that's what all these are.
And so are these blooms up here?
These are. These are ones that have already bloomed, and these are buds here that haven't yet.
Oh, yes. Oh, how fun.
She hadn't had it bloom for the last 2 years because she didn't take it outside because she couldn't.
Oh.
So up until here, you can see it gets real narrow.
Uh-huh.
That's because it didn't go outside for the summer. Otherwise, she used to roll it out on this big dolly kind of so she could get it out.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so
Dan was telling me last week that because I came last week and he showed me around, and he was telling me that because he had so many customers for so many years, a lot of them have like kind of willed their plants to you, right?
That happens, yeah. When it gets too big for them to handle, people usually try and sell them or give them away or something. Because the zoo takes some of those things, but a lot of the things they won't.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because they use big ones in their aviary.
Oh.
But they get beat up, and eventually they have to replace them.
That's really cool.
That's something you can do sometimes.
That's really neat. All right, what are we doing back here? Okay, what is this neat thing?
This is a money tree. You're used to the little ones
braided
at the counter. Look at the trunk on this.
Wow.
And this is... Well, right now it's probably 9 foot tall.
Uh-huh.
And when I take it in, I'll have to cut it back to get down the basement.
Okay.
Because that's the other thing. Almost everything I have in the yard is tropicals. There are very few perennials. And so everything has to go to the basement, pretty much. It takes me about a month to dig them up and pot them and then get them downstairs.
Oh my gosh. You guys, he has quite the system. And when I said, like, you take that down, he's like, I take everything. He's not kidding. All right, so look at this.
These are some of my extra, quote unquote, elephant ears.
Uh-huh.
I usually have way more planted, but this year, because of circumstances, I didn't get things out till almost a month later.
Oh, okay.
And so they're just now getting to the point where I would start planting them in the ground. But since it's almost September,
Oh, yeah.
I won't be doing that. And I'm reducing my stock some.
Okay, reducing your stock. I'll bet your wife would like to know that.
Yeah. This here is a 30-year-old Schefflera.
Oh my gosh. So guys, these are all things that you would see like when you go into, you know, Home Depot or something like that in a tiny little pot in their, you know, in their inside plant. And then look at this. I mean, wow. And I'll compare to Dan.
Yeah, that's right. This customer, probably for 20 years, she would have me come out every spring and I would repot it back into the same pot and trim it off to the same height because that was the height she wanted it.
Okay.
It fit right next to her couch. She had two of them, one on each end.
Oh, yeah?
And so it would grow so well because it was kind of like a Four Seasons room.
Uh-huh.
So it would grow so well that the next year I would have to cut off like 3 and 4 feet sometimes.
Really?
And so what it's got is really big trunks for the size.
Oh, let's get in there. Oh, wow. Oh, so, my goodness.
So it was in a 10-inch pot for years. Finally, I got her to go into a 12 and then a 14.
Oh, wow.
And I have it in a 22.
Wow.
And it has gotten much larger. She didn't want it to get that much larger. So.
Okay. And so how did you get it?
She moved.
Okay.
And then she just wanted to know if I wanted it.
Oh my gosh, that is so neat. So. All right, maybe we should focus on this beautiful part around the pool here for a second.
One other plant.
Oh, one other thing here.
This is actually a 50-year-old ponytail palm.
Oh my gosh! All right, let's look at how long this is.
And this woman bought this at Casey's Garden Shop in a 2 1/4-inch pot in 1974.
Ah.
She grew it for 40 years, which was about to here, I think.
Uh-huh.
And then gave it to me because it was too big for her.
Oh my goodness.
This is the Guatemalan ponytail. The bulb doesn't get as big, but they grow taller faster.
Okay.
And the regular ponytail would be, we just call it a ponytail.
Yeah.
And it has a huge ball in the base. And so that's the big difference between the Guatemalan and the standard one we usually see.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, so you guys, look at this. It looks like a garden center right there. So I'm assuming that's petunia, super Tunia Vista bubblegum.
Bubblegum, yeah, that's right. That variety grows so well. We had some rain, so it's kind of droopy this morning.
All right, so tell me, how much fertilizing do you do? Last
year, I bought 3 25-pound bags of Jack's 20-20-20.
Okay.
And it's a water-soluble one that
right.
you mix with the water. 3 25-pound bags, that's a lot of fertilizer.
Yes.
And I ran it through my hose.
Oh, look at this.
Using a siphon mixer. So I would put a concentrate in there.
Okay.
And then, so when I watered, it would come out a mix of the water and the fertilizer.
Got it.
And so I did that like almost every day because I used the low setting of the fertilizer that's for constant watering.
Okay, got it.
And, well, approximately.
Yeah.
Approximately. And so they got fertilized all the time.
Wow.
And everything just grows really, really well that way.
So I'm hearing, you know, in some of the videos that I watch that like they're recommending, like I used to hear like once a week, but now they're talking like 3 times a week.
Yeah, but it's a smaller amount.
Okay.
So if you look on the containers, it'll say 1 tablespoon per gallon every week or 2.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Or constant feed method is a 1/4 tablespoon per gallon every day, every time you water.
Wow. Okay.
And so that's the kind of thing. And just as long as you stay with that proportions, you're good.
I see what you're saying.
If it needs a lot of water, it needs a lot of fertilizer.
Show this basket from the other side so I'm not in the sun. Oh, I love the Mexican petunias. I've never tried those.
They take lots of water.
Do they?
That's the key because they actually are kind of like a bog plant.
Look at this basket. I mean, this right here is like Six Flags. When you go to Six Flags or Disney,
that's
I mean.
High praise. Well, thank you.
Oh, that's so beautiful. What is that thing called? I'm not good at this stuff.
This is a philodendron salome.
A philodendron. Okay.
And it's just this one below it is the same kind.
That is so beautiful.
These rubber plants I started 2 years ago from cuttings that were maybe 1.5 feet.
Oh my goodness.
And
And look at the
now are
banana. Is that a
7
banana?
foot. This is a banana.
Oh,
And this is the 4th year on this banana.
okay.
During the winter, I chop it off.
Okay.
Well, first we dig it up.
Yeah.
And 2 of us tried to lift it into the pot last year, and we couldn't do it.
Oh my gosh.
So I put a chain hoist up on the pergola, and we had to pull it up like you're pulling a motor out of a car.
Oh my gosh. So what is this, Dan? Right here.
Well, actually, this, I used to put a movie projector on there and project movies onto a screen that was in the space there.
Oh, for your neighbors.
For the
I
neighborhood.
can totally see you do that.
But now, my plants can't do that, so I have another screen I use, and we just don't
that's
do it
so
there.
nice. All
And-
right.
But yeah, so these like are probably 8 foot, 7 to 8 foot now.
Wow.
7 foot, and 2 years. That's just fertilizer and being outside in the ground. That makes a huge difference.
It does. It really does. I mean, when you put stuff in the ground, it just makes the biggest difference. And I mean, granted, I don't really have any experience with tropicals, but
It's the same.
yeah, exactly. All right.
You want to go that way or this
Let's
way?
go this way.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Now, Dan, I think, is having a party this weekend.
That is true. We're having 40 people over this afternoon.
40 people over. I'll probably put you on my right, though, because I think they might be able to hear a little better when you're on
yes.
my right.
I got it.
Yeah, I want them to hear.
'Cause
Can
that's
you
where
talk
the-
about these yet?
I have not.
Can you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay,
well,
because I
can
knew
talk
you said
about it.
something about the licensing or something.
Oh yeah, well I just can't sell them yet.
Okay, got it. I think people would think these were pretty cool.
I 3D print these on a little printer I have. The biggest I can print is about the same as that blue one or the black one.
Okay.
So I can only do a 4-inch pot.
And all these were printed, right?
All these are printed.
Isn't that crazy? A 3D printer.
And it takes, like this one here, takes 6 hours.
Wow.
I think Groot takes 3.
What is that? Is that called Plant Man? What is that thing?
That's Groot.
Groot?
Yes, from the movie Now My Mind Is Shot.
I hear ya.
You know, it's a series. It's got 3 of them, and now
So it's from a movie.
People are yelling right now. They're saying, "You idiot! It's this movie."
Oh.
Because it's
Maybe
it's real popular, and I can't. My mind is blank.
I'm not a big movie watcher because my husband falls asleep within the first 15 minutes, so we just don't even bother.
I am a big movie watcher, but I fall asleep too.
That's really cool. So someday, though, you said that you'll be able to sell these, right?
Yeah, When I actually have been selling plants, and I just got a new printer that's bigger and faster, and so I will buy the license that I can print them and sell them.
Oh, that's so awesome. Dan is a man after my own heart because, 1, he loves plants, and 2, he's very entrepreneurial and also very handy. And so when I talk to his wife, I try not to get too excited about how genius Dan is. And my husband's like, who's this Dan guy? Is this the pumpkin?
This is a watermelon.
Oh, that's right, a watermelon.
My granddaughter brought watermelon seeds 1 month ago.
Yes.
She had a watermelon, and somebody said, well, you know, you can plant those seeds and get watermelons.
Right.
Well, it's a little late for that. But, so we put 6 seeds in there a month ago, and within probably 2 days, they sprouted.
Wow.
One of them sprouted. And if we walk around here,
oopsie.
It's been a month now, and we have a watermelon.
Oh my goodness! Is a granddaughter, right?
Right.
Is she so excited?
Well, she hasn't seen it yet. She'll see it this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's 4.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So she has no concept of anything other than she's growing a watermelon that she hasn't actually touched.
Okay.
I planted all the seeds and everything,
but,
but it's her watermelon.
And I'm sure she thinks Grandpa's just amazing that he can make this happen.
Oh, she doesn't know that it's amazing.
Oh, she doesn't even know yet? Oh, she doesn't even know.
You know,
She's too little.
She's 4. So she doesn't know it. It's yeah.
All right, I'm going to
So,
try to keep you guys out of the sun here.
okay.
Now, Dan does have a pool. That's what this leads to. And I asked him if he was ever planning on moving because I want, I would love to have a pool someday.
I
But
don't think we're going to move until.
but I think Dan's here to stay.
We moved here into a ranch because it's flat and we both had knee operations and
Yes.
we didn't want to be doing the stairs as much, so here we are.
Right. Instead, you're going to cart all this stuff down to your basement.
That's right. That's right.
With your knee.
It's more her knee than mine.
So you didn't make these? These are regular little pots, aren't they?
I didn't make the pots.
But here's another thing to know about Dan. He is a expert macrame person. He teaches classes. Let me see if I can remember all the stuff Dan can do. Dan can he can make fancy cookies.
That's true.
Right? Fancy cookies. He is great at macrame. He does woodworking, right? Woodworking. He does a lot of plant growing, right? Yeah. Propagation. Do you do seed starting or mostly just?
Mostly just propagation from cuttings and divisions.
All right.
I have been a runner until this operation, and I will be again.
Yes.
And make costumes, big.
Oh, that's
11-foot costumes I run in.
So he does big like marathons, right?
Yeah, but I don't run. I run marathons, but I don't run them in costume. I run shorter races.
Oh, so he runs short races and he makes these humongous. Hey, could we put a couple at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. He makes humongous costumes that he runs in, and they're the cutest things he's showed me. What do we need to know about this?
Let's just look at the size of these spider plants.
Wow. What's it called? Here we go.
It's a spider plant. This one's the Hawaiian spider plant or airplane plant.
Yeah.
The Hawaiian has a yellow stripe down the center. You can see it on the new growth.
Yeah.
And then as it gets older, it gets a little darker.
Okay.
And it has a pretty wide leaf. That's the reverse spider plant. It has a green stripe.
Yes.
And the one most people are familiar to is similar to this, but it's got a narrower leaf and it's got a yellow stripe.
I'm going to show the babies.
Yeah. They're doing
great. Now, I have one of these because my stepson was like, I don't have room and I need you to take care of this. And poor kid, he put it in, he was watering it a ton and it was sitting in a pot of water.
It didn't have a drain hole?
And it had a drain hole, but it was sitting in a pot of water. So it was like sucking it all up.
It was a catch pot.
Yeah. Okay. And so I took it home, cut it all the way back, started fresh, and now it looks fairly good. Okay, now let's talk about this and tell everyone what you're going to do with this.
This is a macho fern.
Macho fern.
And I bought it this spring in a just regular 10-inch pot. And at the end of the year, I cannot bring him inside because I don't have enough room with all this other stuff. So it's going to Deanna's house.
Woohoo! And my husband's going to be like, what?
Yeah. You'll see this and then you'll be barred from it.
Right, might be. Oh, you got to tell them about these things.
This is called a climbing onion, and the scientific name is Bowia volubis. And out of this onion type of bulb, these stems grow. And this one actually I had in the basement, and I have a grid on my ceiling that I hang the plants from. And it went all the way up and all the way across that and was just almost like a canopy.
Really?
And then when I went to bring it out, it broke because I couldn't get it out of the grid. But all this fine foliage, and they're south of the border, and I'm not sure exactly where.
And where did you get this thing?
I had a customer at Casey's that had a greenhouse that had some.
Wow.
Yeah, because they don't. I've never seen them. Actually, I saw some for sale on Facebook Marketplace.
Really?
Yeah.
And I asked you if we could eat that, but you said no, probably not.
No. But it's it's south of the equator, so its growing time is winter.
Okay.
And so my friend always grew them during the winter and then let them be dormant. You just have this bulb sitting there during the summer.
Okay.
And I did that for 2 years, and I thought, I wonder if I can keep it growing. I've had it growing for the last 4 years.
Of course you have.
Solid. And so that's why it had so much time to go in the basement so much, because I put it down, it had a lot there, and it just took off. But if you give it summer all the time or growing conditions all the time, apparently you can confuse it enough to thinking that it's just a long summer.
So Dan, explain this wooden thing. Right.
Let's see.
You have another one
here,
somewhere else, I
I can show
know.
you here because it's attached. But
Watch this.
this is the whole concept. Is I make the grooves in it and then put a little tongue here so it catches.
Yeah.
And then I can just slide it back in there.
I told you, Dan, so he just thinks of things that other people don't think of.
And so the ones I have, like over there, you can just pan over to that.
Yes.
They go.
Oh, that. Yeah, that's right. Now I
goes in
remember
a
that's where you
circle
showed
around
me.
it.
Okay, yeah, let me go over here and show you this really neat thing here. So, Dan, you could actually sell these too.
I do.
You do sell these. Look at this. So he had this on a spiral. Well, so I don't get it. There's a spiral, but yet, oh, that's your drip.
This is, I'm getting ready. I'm trying to get as many things as I can on drip.
Good for you.
And so, yeah, that goes around.
Okay, but look, see the wooden thing is in there, and he has them hanging all the way down.
Yeah, you can see this spiral comes
Isn't
around
that
like that.
So neat. So you do sell these?
Yeah.
I might need one of those.
I haven't done many this year because things got backed up, and so I just didn't have time. So
I want to show them this because I sure did not know that this would bloom.
this is one of my favorite plants.
Mine too, honestly. I love the color on it.
And it's Tradescantia Nanook, or Wandering Dude is what it's being called now.
Have you seen people call it Wandering Dude?
Yeah.
Is that to not say Jew? Is that what that is?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we're being politically correct now.
Got it. Okay.
And then there's a darker form of this that everybody is familiar with.
Right.
That's the one that typically we all knew as that.
Right. I like this one much better.
This one's a little more upright, and it's got a little more. It's got quite a bit of white in it.
Yeah.
But it's still got, especially the backs. It's got
wow.
spectacular color.
I love the pink on it. I just think that's so pretty. Then you've got more elephant ears kind of tucked in there.
Oh yeah, this one's a cool one because it's got dark veins and a dark stem. You can see down here really, they get really dark. This one is kind of in the shade. If it was in more sun, those areas would be darker. The veins would be almost purple.
All right.
But yeah, I like that because that's a change from these here,
right?
Which is what mostly I have. They don't have any.
So tell everybody about this planter.
A friend of mine brought me this, and somebody had thrown it out on the curb, and it's an old Papasan chair.
Yeah.
And it had some broken things, and so I put a piece of PVC around it to replace those, and then used indoor-outdoor carpeting to line it. And last year I planted a cactus garden in it, and my cactus are 5 to 6 foot tall.
Oh my gosh!
So it was spectacular. We have pictures of that we can put in it.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah.
And then, I had that last year, and then this year I had it full of elephant ears.
Okay.
But I had some people wanting elephant ears, so I dug them up and gave.
You're just so like me. Just dig it right out of the ground and be like, here you go.
So now I'm using it to propagate some more of these.
Oh, nice.
Because I try and keep lots of them going.
Yeah. So, tell me, remember I said, oh, this is scary to put in here because I figured it might go into your neighbors. And I also know that some of these grasses are like impossible to dig out if you want to.
Right.
And I saw this guy trying to dig it, and it would just keep coming back. And we started calling him Don Quixote because that grass would come back no matter what.
Impossible dream, yeah.
Right. So what did you say about mowing it that makes a difference for this?
This basically only spreads about 3 weeks in the spring. So the time when it's runners and then starts coming up, when they're about this tall, a little bit less than that, I would mow them off.
Okay.
And mow them every time they came up for the next 3 weeks. And usually that's about when it was done trying to runner. And so that's it.
So it never caused a problem.
It doesn't come up, yeah. And it'll go over it'll get under there, but then you just do it. You just mow it off. just as long as you keep mowing it off,
Yeah.
it doesn't spread any farther.
Okay. I know people get, kind of sensitive about,
Oh yeah.
Invasive plants, and so
My neighbors are happy that I have plants, and that way they don't have to plant them.
they get to look at the
That's
beauty.
right.
Yeah, because look, it's just like an open area, so they get to enjoy the backside just like you get to enjoy it, which is really nice.
So they like that. At least at this point in time, they still do.
Oh, that's good. All right, so I got to ask you, what are these cuttings of over here?
Oh, these are Sansevieria.
Oh, mother-in-law's tongue, right?
Right, yeah. And I just did them yesterday.
Wow, so you just cut them
Cut
into
sections.
pieces.
And when you do that, you have to really pay attention to what's the top and what's the bottom, because they, when you look at this, you would almost think this was the bottom.
Yeah.
You would think it would go this way.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, because the leaf is shaped narrow on top and bottom.
I get that. So when you cut it, you still have to pay attention to what side was the top and what side was the bottom.
If you put it upside down, it won't work, I don't think. Well, but I don't know for sure.
Okay, but you've never tried that way.
This is really the first time I will have this experiment come through. Last year I had it, but I had it in something with no holes, and it rained, and it filled with water, and they all floated up. And
they all floated. All right, which way do you want to go? That way, or you want to go behind me?
No, we can go behind.
All right, let's go behind me. There's my beautiful fern that I took care of all summer and looks so great, and I'm just going to be so proud to have in my house.
Well, let's go this way.
Okay.
This is my little
I love
Hawaii
this area.
circle.
Yeah, so I love that you put this in the middle of the grass. I think that is nice. I mean, do you do the mowing, or does your wife?
My wife does the mowing.
And does she complain about having to go around the circle?
No.
Okay, good.
Not anymore.
Not anymore? I also know his wife pretty well, too, so.
She, no, I go through before she mows and pick everything up and move things out of the way. Okay, there's a banana plant in the middle, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
And I have, lots of times when you plant them and they're out in the open, we're really windy. And so this is a piece of PVC that I heated up and bent and attached to the pole.
Oh my gosh.
So that it wouldn't blow over.
I'm going to repeat that just in case they didn't hear it. That is a PVC pipe that he heated up himself and attached it so that cannot blow over.
And then painted it so it didn't show.
And painted it the same color as the banana, of course.
And that's the banana. But this...
I love this thing.
This is a Plumeria. And Plumeria is the Hawaiian flower they use to string leis when you go to Hawaii. And they just have hundreds of them. They're so awesome.
And you had me smell it. And it smells, I'm going to do it again, just for fun. Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, it literally smells like perfume, and not like an old grandma one. Like a beautiful, soft one.
Like a fresh Hawaiian island.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't know. Maybe someday.
But it's a very unusual plant. And it also grows in Mexico, and it grows in someone just told me somewhere else. But it grows a lot of places around when it's, I don't know where it's specifically native to.
Okay.
But, India is another place it grows.
Oh, okay.
So the Indian person told me it originated there, and the Hawaiian person told me it originated there.
Oh, really?
Of course, Hawaii doesn't have very many truly indigenous plants.
Oh, really?
Because they're an island that came up out of the...
Oh,
yeah. And so a lot of the things, seeds came with birds.
Oh, okay. Well,
birds eating poop, and that's how seeds get a lot of places.
Well, I haven't been to Hawaii just because I'm too chicken to fly that far.
It is awesome.
Maybe someday. I told my husband if we do it, we'll fly to Colorado, stay a couple days, fly to California, stay a couple days, and then fly over.
Well, yeah, we generally go. We don't usually go direct from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
We've usually gone to San Diego or LAX or Fort Worth sometimes.
Yeah.
And then flown from there.
Well, how long is it from California?
From the time you leave the mainland I think it's about 10 hours.
On a plane?
Yeah.
No.
But you sleep.
No, I don't. That's the problem.
Well, you
I
might.
once took a red eye and was wide awake the entire time.
They have plenty of movies too. Okay, so when you look at these, the plant itself isn't particularly attractive. It's unusual. It's just big stems. And they don't have any leaves on it, and then all the leaves are at the top.
Yeah, I kind of like that though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very much architectural.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it has character, as we say.
Right, exactly.
This is 3 separate plants.
This one is?
That are all planted together.
Okay, so 3 separate ones?
Yeah. And like, see, this stem comes out, and then it's got 3 branches here. And then that stem comes up and it branches, and there's another stem.
Is that just where you've made your cuts and then you get those branching stems?
Exactly.
Okay.
And these down here are some I stuck in the dirt, and they're rooting.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh yeah.
They look great, don't they?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that one's wilted a little bit, but they're doing fine. And even these, like if you order one online, this is what you get.
Oh, like a
you
stub?
Get just a plain stick.
Oh.
And it won't even have roots.
Oh, really?
These are now rooted, so I could dig that up.
Really? It'll come just a stick with no roots?
Yeah.
Well, that would make me a little nervous.
But it works. It works most of the time.
What kind of palm is that?
Okay, this is a sago palm, S-A-G-O, and there's a bigger one on the other side here.
Okay.
And this, if you go to California, everybody's got one of these planted around the house.
Oh, really? Okay.
And they're about, let's see, this variety is probably about 8 feet to 10 feet, and then they got a cluster of little ones at the base.
Okay. Did you say sago?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
S-A-G-O, sago. There's a king sago and a queen sago. This is the king. It's more compact. The queen is huge.
And then, just like most palm trees, isn't all that stuff that you see like down here, isn't that just old leaves?
This is where these came off of.
Right. That's
they're old leaves. Yeah.
Basically down there. When I went to Florida and I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute, because like I stare at all plants, no matter where I'm at. I tell my husband stuff, and I'm like, oh look, that's da da da. He's like, okay. But anyway, I noticed that when I was in Florida, I'm like, oh my gosh, all those things down there are just old branches.
Oh yeah, that's what most plants are. If it's got a trunk is where the branches.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And this is an unusual Tradescantia. Which is also, we were talking about wandering dudes.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
And it is green all summer, and then about this time of year, the new growth comes out with these splotches, and sometimes they get real pink too.
Oh. Okay.
And then all the leaves that come on then have that. And then a little while, they'll go back to green.
Oh,
they don't change, but the new leaves will be green. So that spot will stay.
Oh, okay.
It's called, let's see, Blushing Bride.
Oh.
Blushing Bride Tradescantia.
Okay.
And I looked it up yesterday, and it might be winter hardy here, so I'm going to leave some in the ground
and see if it'll make it
see
through.
if it makes it.
Now, do you know, is purple heart, is that what it's called? Is that a Tradescantia?
It's a Cretacea, but it's in the big family of Tradescantia, yes.
Okay, and I also asked Dan, because I was at my son's house, and it seemed like I was picking weeds, and they all seemed to me like they were Tradescantia, and I said, is there a Tradescantia weed? And he said, yes. The nice thing about them is they pull out really easy.
Yeah.
So I actually enjoyed it, but I need to go back because it got too hot. I'm like, I love you, but I'm not doing that.
Weeds are something that are where we don't want them to be.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean it's really a weed.
Right.
We've decided the things we don't want in our garden are weeds.
Or grass.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool looking.
Yeah. Well, in his place, it just looks kind of messy. All right, which way you want to go?
Well, I thought we'd go up top.
Oh, yeah, I want to show this for sure. I was so excited when I saw this.
If you back up, they'll be able to see.
Yeah, I'll back up and get you back on my right side, okay? So this is is it her she shed?
Oh no.
Oh no.
No,
Okay.
this is
It's their shed.
this is where the extra stuff goes.
Okay.
You know, when we clean up, so we let everybody see it. We got to put all the other junk somewhere.
Well, I gotta tell you, it looks very nice.
10 years ago, we moved here, and my wife said, "Can you build the shed?" Because we had one before and we need it. And I said, "I don't know. I've never tried." And I didn't know how to do a building. So I actually built the walls with pallets.
Oh, really?
So the walls inside are pallets.
Oh, that's smart.
And then I had them up 10 feet, all four, and it was rectangular shaped. And she walked out and said, "Are you just building a regular shed?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "If you're building it, it ought to be something different." So she went online and found a picture of a shed that looked like this in Holland.
I want to show the shape of it when we get done looking at this
And
part.
we know it's Holland because it had tulips on the roof and a bicycle leaning against it.
Oh, you guys, tulips on the roof.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Come on, Dan,
that's
get
too
with
much,
it.
No, that's too much work. Then you got all these,
Yeah, no.
There are 4 kinds of sedum up there.
Okay.
And they've been up there for 10 years.
Okay.
And the unique thing about them is they are zone 3 sedums.
Okay.
We're zone 5 here. That's the heat zone.
Technically, we're a 6.
Yeah. No. Well,
yes.
I think we're 5B, aren't we?
No, we got moved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were 5B and now we're a 6, which feels weird, and I don't know if I trust it.
Hard to teach an old man new tricks. But, so because that freezes up there, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's only 4 inches of potting soil.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. And so I had to get zone 3 ones because I put a bunch of zone 5 ones in to add a unique difference. And they all died.
Oh, they did. Yeah. Well, and don't you think like the shallowness matters, right?
Oh, it matters, but it's being up there and exposed.
Well, very exposed. Yeah. I mean, you're getting all the wind, right?
Oh, you get
and
all
that would make a difference too.
There's no heat in that building, so
right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, Dan, that's what you need to do. Yeah. Put heat in the building, and then you won't have to drag your stuff that far. See if she likes that idea.
We've talked about that. She does not like that idea.
Oh, darn it. She's going to be like, don't let her come back.
But yeah, if we come over here,
okay,
then we can see the shape.
All right, we're going to go up here so we can see the shape of it. That is so neat. Can you believe he built this? Oh, well, yes, I can, but look at that. That is so cool.
And there's a window between the two on that vertical.
Wait, a window?
That lets light into the... It's fiberglass.
Oh, up there?
Yeah. Between the two, there's that straight piece. And even though it's a total mess, we can come in here.
Okay, we're going to go in.
We'll see if we can... And you can see the...
Oh, how neat is that?
You can see the window up there.
Yes. So you can see in here.
And then you can see the pallets over here.
Oh, my gosh. That's so cool.
And when things aren't piled in here so far... All the tools fit nicely.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, you can use the pallets for your organizing.
Yeah, it's halfway organized at least. Some of the stuff's hanging.
That is so cool, Dan.
So
what is that up there? Your
drip? That's some more hose for the drip system.
More hose for the drip system. Okay.
Actually, I had that up on top of the pergola. As a solar heater for the pool.
Oh.
And I switched it out for a smaller diameter because I could pump the water through easier.
Okay. So I talk a lot about on my videos how I like to make sure you get like a long view, because I think so many like YouTubers, they like focus so like close up.
Oh, and it looks so different then.
Well, yeah, and you don't get a lay of the land, and so I like to make sure I try to get like a real like long shot of everything so you can really get a feel. So this is basically, you guys, when you come around the house, this is the back of his backyard. And so his neighbor gets to look into his beautiful yard. And then there are some plants back behind the pool over there. And then I love how he hangs all the stuff from the trees to add more interest there. And so that's the pool. And then that's over here is where we came around the corner. So then when you come around the corner, you see all this, and then it takes you all the way to the back, and then to my left is the shed, and then we go back to where the circle is in the middle of the yard, right there, with the beautiful banana. And then he does do shade cloths over his patio.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so this is the closest part to the house. Okay, so
And
now.
we should go look at the
Oh,
cactus.
yeah. He's got some really neat, the ones are mangaves, right?
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm starting to get into that. I've seen other people with the mangaves, and they're pretty neat.
You know, that's where the tequila worm comes from.
The tequila worm?
Yeah.
What's that mean? I don't know what that means.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
you mean like when you take the drink?
Yeah.
Oh, why? What's that? What's that
I
have to
just
do
know
with it?
that, well, they have a worm in the bottom
They have
of the
what?
tequila bottle, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And why?
And that's because some Mexican did that. I don't know why.
Dan, you're supposed to know everything.
Yeah. I just know that that's the plant that they get the tequila worm out of.
So the worm is in the plant?
Yeah, I mean that's where it
Likes to live around? Okay.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
probably sounding really stupid.
That's everything I know about it. So
Got it.
I only sound a little smarter than you.
I was going to sound like I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so this is my succulent garden. Last year,
Succulent garden.
cactus succulent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, this stuff was in that Papazan share,
Oh, okay.
which we'll have a picture of.
Yeah,
At
we'll
the
have a
end.
picture at the end. Okay.
Yeah. So this is a pencil cactus.
Okay, pencil cactus.
And you don't see it all that much. I mean, they're around.
And not
but-
in the ground, though.
No, well,
Hardly.
you don't see any of this stuff in the ground up
Right?
here.
Because nobody else is going to dig it all out and pick it into the
That's right.
basement.
It's way too much work.
Right, it is.
These agaves I grew from little suckers that were this big,
Okay.
about 1.5 inches big.
Oh, wow.
I repotted someone's plant,
Uh-huh.
and there were a bunch of little babies on it, and I said, I'd like to have those if I could. She goes, I just want a few to give it to people.
Okay.
So that's how I got my start with agaves.
Okay, so someone gave you a few suckers?
Yeah,
All right. I
Mhm.
love this. This is just so...
a few being 20.
What's it called?
No, a few being 20 suckers.
Oh, a few being 20
Yeah.
suckers. I get it.
This is a candelabra cactus.
Candelabra cactus.
It's a type of euphorbia.
Oh, does it have like the
It's
The
got
sap.
the sap, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
got a milky, sticky sap.
yeah, and it can irritate people.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. It
And-
irritates a lot of people. Not, I'm using irritate in a different way too.
I know what you're saying.
Um,
I love the jade. I got to
and
get
that's
over
it.
there,
yeah,
get
and
closer
then,
on that.
then we'll have to see the big jade.
Yes,
outside
we
later.
will definitely have to see the big jade.
And
Uh, Did you come up with a price for the big jade yet?
then I did. And I love this. This aloe. That's an aloe.
That's an aloe.
Okay.
Okay.
And then those are aloe vera. that you're
Okay.
looking at now, and that's one of those is what's blooming there to the right.
That?
Yeah, that's a big aloe that's blooming.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay, I see that.
Go up to bloom stalks so they can
Oh,
see it.
yeah. Look at the bloom stalk.
Yeah, there you go.
How cool is that?
And then here's some more aloes over here.
Okay.
This one here,
Yeah, that's neat.
and then this one here.
That one's a really neat color.
Yeah, it's weird with that orangey red.
Yeah, it is. It almost looks like it has like aphids on it.
Yeah, it does. And then there's a different agave there.
I actually showed that one. That's
Oh,
pretty
did you?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then tell them why there's a big hole right here.
Because I dug up and sold some of these plants because some people wanted them.
Yeah, so
Um,
he let people actually. That's what I do. I let people come into the yard, and I'm like, oh, if you see something you want, just let me know.
Well, see, as big as these are, and if you didn't know, they have a huge, very sharp needle on them.
Ooh,
So when you put
oh
them,
my.
when you put them in the house,
Yeah,
they have to be somewhere nobody can get to or nobody would run into.
no animal either.
So I end up putting them on top of my shelves where I have my plant lights.
Okay.
Because it's the only place that something that big can be in the basement when I got all these plants in there that you don't hit.
Okay. Wow.
And they don't need, when I bring them inside, I probably don't water them more than 5 times in the winter.
5 times in the
Maybe
winter.
twice some years.
All right, we got to look at the propagation station.
Yeah, this is the propagation station. And let me get around to your right.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
And so all these, I think I started them about a month and a half ago. And they are rooted now.
Okay. Wow.
Let me take my...
Oh, look.
And you can see they're rooted all the way down.
Wait, I'm not on it. There we go. Okay,
Yeah.
Neat. Okay.
So...
Wow, and even your little rooted one's blooming here. Where am I at?
Oh,
right
yeah.
There. I like your cup.
My son got that for me. And
look, you got little babies of that one.
Oh, yeah. And they're rooted now, too.
That's cool.
And I put some in those little pots that I print. Those little teeny ones. I got some up there. This is what I wanted to show you.
Yes.
This. See that new plant growing on there?
Yeah, I love that. That I told my daughter that. She thought that was the coolest thing. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all you do is just lay it down in the dirt.
That's a jade plant.
Look at that.
And here, the burro's tail.
Oh, the burro's tail, yeah.
Yeah, that's a giant burro's tail, but
Okay.
they're all getting ready.
Oh,
So that's exciting. But you just lay them down,
fun.
and they don't have to be on the dirt. But if you put them on the dirt, then they'll root in at the same time.
Okay.
But these were just laying on the deck, just like these were.
Oh my gosh.
But see, this one was in here, and it's
Oh,
a
yeah, I see.
It dropped its roots down.
Wow. Look at this guy just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, I've been going to separate them and make little ones. And this is an unusual plant. These back here are African jades, the green
African
ones.
jades, okay.
Portulacaria.
All right.
Okay, this is an African jade, but it's variegated.
I see that.
And it's not the normal variegation. The normal variegation we usually see is the yellow on the outside and green on the inside. This is flipped. And so I hadn't seen one like that, so I bought one, and now I'm propagating it.
Another one there.
Yeah. And but it's very striking with this almost pink stem.
Yeah.
It just really grabs your attention.
Look at all these little babies.
And most of these I've suckered off of other ones, except this one. And I really like this. It's very
That's
unusual.
a neat, yeah.
I have taken cuttings of all them.
Wow. Holy cow.
Pretty soon I'll have enough that I can sell those, but I need to get a pretty good stock up.
Holy cow. What is this right here?
That's a Rio, and it's R-H-E-O.
Okay.
And it's in the same big family as the Tradescantia.
Oh, really?
And it's also called Moses in the Boat.
Moses in the what?
Boat.
Boat? That's what I thought you said.
You know, like when he was floating down the Nile.
Yeah.
And
as a baby.
In the bulrushes, yeah.
I was thinking.
See, right here.
Yeah.
You could there it is.
Oh, let me get
There's
in
the
there
boat.
again. Okay.
And inside is where some blooms are.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
And
some roly-polies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And this one's blooming already. You know, you can see that there.
Oh my gosh.
There are two kinds of these, and I didn't know that. This is the large one.
Okay.
And the small ones are like 1/3 of that. No. 1/5 of that size.
Really?
Yeah, the leaves are only about this long.
Wow.
Like 4 inches long.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one I always saw. And then all of a sudden someone said, oh, no, this is the big variety. I said, how cool is that?
That is neat. Well, we were talking about the roly-polies. I got a tomato yesterday to take into the house, and it was upside down. I flipped it over, and it had a hole in it, and it was full of roly-polies. I'm like, that's disgusting.
They like pesto, I guess.
I guess so. All right, so let's get up here. That's a neat one.
That's a Rex begonia.
Okay.
And I bought that as just a small plant, and it's
is that in a pot?
It's in a pot.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
All right. The impatiens there just seeded themselves, or
really, how nice.
Or it dropped off and started.
Nice.
Yeah, and then
this is kind of more of a propagation station.
It looks like a shoe tree, but it's not. It's a it's just plant pockets. It's meant for just growing plants.
Yeah, did you
Yeah.
get that like online?
Oh yeah, I got it from Temu.
Everybody gets everything from Temu.
Oh, yeah.
I still haven't done that
And
yet.
sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
That's what I hear. More of these.
So I fill these with soil, and then I
Oops, I'm gonna go back.
put the cuttings in,
Uh-huh.
unrooted, and then when they get rooted like this, then I pull them out, which is why these are empty, and then I pot them up.
Oh, okay.
And then now I'll be putting new ones in there. So I use it as a rotating propagation.
Wow, that is so cool.
But it covers up the 150-gallon rain barrel.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And I see you have more of these.
Oh yes, these I started a few years ago.
Okay.
From the big ones.
Remind me of the name again. I forgot.
Candelabra.
Oh yeah, candelabra. Okay.
Kind of looks like a candle.
It kind of does. All right, let me give you another long shot, you guys. All right, Dan, do you want to go behind the pool?
Yeah, I think we should.
And that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then at the end, you guys, I'm going to take pictures and I'll put it. We got more. Oh yeah, we can't forget about this.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. We're gonna get over there. I'm hoping you guys can see because I can't. All right, I'm gonna slowly get you over there. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. I like all three of these plants are special. This is kind of my pride and joy.
I bet.
This it's a jade bonsai,
Yes.
and it was kind of a happy accident.
Yes.
I had a big jade that was just the regular bushy style, and I took about 100 cuttings off it.
Okay.
And different sizes and branches and stuff.
Yeah.
And then what was left was this, and I looked at it and I said, "That's a bonsai."
I love that.
And I just happened to have this pot,
which you said was not cheap.
Oh no, it's about $150.
$150 pot.
And I had that in the shed, in that shed, and so I brought it out and put it up, and it just made a fabulous bonsai.
And he had a lady who wants to buy it, and she said, "Give me a price," and he's debating the price. Maybe everybody can give you an idea of what they would pay
There you
for
go.
it.
That would be good.
Everybody give him an idea of what you'd be willing to pay for this, knowing the pot is $150.
Or what you think it should be.
Yeah, what do you think that it's worth?
You may not be willing to pay that
Right,
much.
that's a good point. You may not want to pay it, but somebody else may.
And this, we saw those little burrow's tail growing.
Yes.
This is one that's bigger. All this growth, most of it was from inside, so it's kind of small. But this one here is much bigger.
Yeah.
This was outside last summer.
Wow.
That's the difference between the giant and the regular.
Beautiful.
And
I love the shape of it.
This bonsai I started probably 10 years ago at Casey's. And somebody bought it. And so she got in touch. She found me after I retired. She found me this year and wanted to know if I would take it and fix it. You know, it was all overgrown and it didn't have any shape or anything. And so she will be shocked because I cut all kinds of stuff off of it. But now I'm getting the nice little growth.
Yeah.
And it's
Tell everybody what you told me about the bottom looking like that.
What did I tell you?
You told me that with a bonsai, that's kind of a prized thing.
Yeah, dead branches at places show age. But this here, this is not a fancy one, but this shows it's a big old plant.
Yeah.
And it's all these roots are adventitious roots. A lot of them have come out of the stem. See, this comes out of the stem way up above the soil because it's a type of Schefflera.
Okay.
It's an arboricola.
Very neat. And then you told me this was a what?
Oh, this is a cast iron plant.
Okay.
Which is Aspidistra. And in the Victorian ages, they used them in the anterooms that you walked into in the home because it handles low light and cold.
Okay.
And so they used to have them in there. This particular variety is called Milky Way. It's got the stars on it here.
Right.
And that's a little less common.
Okay. And does that flower or anything?
Yes, but you know, almost everything flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets a little flower in the base that's kind of brownish.
That
if
you
I
can
remember
barely
right.
see, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now which way? To the back?
Boy, I hope you still have memory. You want to go around the front or you want to go to the back?
Whichever way you want to go.
Let's go this way.
Okay. Wouldn't mind seeing this part again. The sun is definitely getting higher in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
He's got more of those wooden hooks here to hang all these on.
One side so that, oh, you can't even see them, but there's, yeah, here.
See how we just unhooked that? Just hooked it right back up. That is really cool. And the one thing I'm noticing is that the pots hang pretty straight. A lot of time what happens is when you have stuff like this, the pots hang at an angle, and then you can't get the water to stay in it, and then they're not happy plants.
Yeah, you have to have the slot the right size, otherwise they do.
So this is kind of just your little veggie bed, right?
Yeah, it's a raised bed that we've pulled the spinach and the lettuce and a lot of things out of.
Tomatoes. Wow.
It's still got tomatoes going. And this here is the hidden pond because it's hidden behind everything.
Oh yeah, I honestly kind of forgot about that. Look at this. How did I forget about this? Okay, Dan, I did have a question for you since we're here. Oh, look, he's feeding the fish. Hold on, I gotta focus on that. Aww. So how do you keep the water clean?
Chemical, and I run it through a filter.
Okay.
That pulls a lot of it strains a lot of the stuff out. I had trouble this year because it was so warm over the winter that I started it with algae. And so at one point I took all the water out and replaced it.
Okay.
During the process, I killed all my koi.
Oh.
And so that's why I have goldfish now, because I've replaced the koi a few times and they're quite expensive.
Yeah.
So these are just big goldfish.
Oh, wow. Well, they sure look pretty.
But there's about 30 of them in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And it's
That's
deep.
a lot.
It's almost 4 feet deep by the falls.
And so you're able to leave them in there in the winter?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because it's deep enough and they go down low in there.
And I have to put a de-icer in there.
Okay.
Which is like a little heater.
Right.
It just keeps it at 33 or 34 degrees. So there's a hole in the ice when it gets down below dirt. Because we had those freezing days last year.
Yeah.
And my ice was 2.5 inches thick.
Ooh.
But there was a hole in the center, so they didn't die.
Oh, wow.
Because the gases had to escape.
This is just a beautiful area. I love that. Very nice. Now, I see something. So, up under your rock of your waterfall, it looks like rocks. But it's not.
It's called rock cloth.
Rock cloth. I'm so glad I asked you that because I got to looking at that. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and
that's not a rock, but it looks like it.
Yeah, and I think you could probably do a better job that would look more like rocks, but
I think that looks really great. I sure didn't notice it the first time.
I did it after the pond was in for 3 years, so I had a hard time working it in. If you were doing it when you built it, you could do it, and you could have soil underneath it that made it look more like a rock.
Oh, kind of bulge it out a little bit more. Yeah. So the blue is, remind me, what's the blue flowers on the right?
Plumbago.
Plumbago. Okay, so didn't you say you have to throw that away too, or do you take it inside?
I don't take it inside because it doesn't cost as much as a lot of the other things I have.
I would take that also if you want to donate it to me.
Okay.
Unless you're going to take it in. If you're going to take it in, then you do
I'm
that.
Just laughing. She's a scavenger. You know that.
Yes, that's why I need a truck. So that I can, haul stuff around and put my logo on the side.
So you'd be one of those guys that come around in the morning, the day
pick out
before,
your garbage, pretty much. Yeah. Yep, pretty much. I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, I just want an old truck. I don't want anything fancy, just an old truck.
And this is a very cool plant. This is cypress, and it grows along riverbeds and stuff.
Okay.
In the south, farther south.
Okay.
In Egypt, they have papyrus.
Right, yeah.
Okay, that's what this is back here.
Right.
Okay, and they're both related. They're both a kind of cypress, I believe.
Okay.
And the cool thing about it is when they get old, they get tall. They get much taller than this.
Yeah.
And they get old, and this comes over, and it hits the water. And where it hits the water, it starts a new plant.
Nuh-uh. Kind of like plants that do that on the dirt.
Yeah, but it just it's crazy because what I have done is I've taken a whole bunch of these and then cut up, held it up like this and cut it off about right there. So they were just a little pinwheel, turned them upside down and stuck them in a vase.
Oh.
And they all started. Or I even did it and put them in the soil and then kept it moist and they grew up. I mean, you can propagate these so easily.
Wow.
Or you can divide them because they have a bunch of stems and you can just divide them.
I got to get what it looks like all the way over here.
Yeah, my monsteras are liking it over there. I haven't had them back here before, but they like it.
This is just so pretty. So you can probably hear it from your pool, can't you?
No, well, the pool pump is usually too loud.
Oh, kind of drowns it out. Okay.
And when we don't, we are in. When you're in the pool, you always are making some kind of noise.
Yeah, that's true.
You can hear it some.
Okay.
It's kind of a waste being back here, but
yeah, but it sure is pretty.
If the filter were somewhere else, I could put a little bench there, and it would be nice. But it's not somewhere else.
Yeah.
This may end up in the main yard at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'm thinking of replacing that, taking out that whole big grass thing, the big grass next to the shed. Yeah. And putting it in that area.
Oh, that would be so nice.
It would be
Would you
visible
have someone come and do it?
No, I'd do it.
My gosh, Dan.
Yeah, it's like, you just dig it out,
No big deal.
Well,
so I actually saw someone had on Facebook Market a pond, and it would be very similar to this. It was the plastic liner with the waterfall part up on top of it.
Right.
And he had it at $9.50, marked it down to $6, and even said that he knew how to put it in for you.
Which is important.
Yeah, and so I was telling my husband about it. At first he was just kind of giving me the look, and then he kind of started to relent, and then he kind of went back to no. So we'll wait for now. But I don't know. I don't even know if I have room for something like this.
This is a free-form liner.
It's just all kind of wavy looking.
Well, no, it's not a hard form.
Oh.
It's a sheet of rubber.
Oh. I kind of have seen that. You kind of build it on the kind of on the dirt and stuff, and line it. And
you form it.
Yeah, got it.
The dirt, and then you lay it over it, and then you try and make the fold not seem so bad.
Wow.
It's the same kind of material they use for rubber roofing. But they clean the factory of all the oils and stuff and the machines before they run the pond stuff.
Oh.
When they run it for a roof, they don't worry about that.
Oh.
So it costs more to buy the pond stuff than the roofing. But there's a reason.
Oh, because
your fish don't die.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, well, Dan, we're over an hour. You got anything else you want to show me real quick?
I think we did a pretty good job.
I think we did too, and then I'm going to go around and take some good pictures, hopefully, and you can send me any that you have and you like.
Sounds great.
And then we'll put it at the end. So everyone, tell Dan thank you.
And thank you for having me.
Yes, it was so fun. I love this place. I mean, you are just a wealth of information, and I really enjoyed it. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.